Becoming comfortable with silence is not a social skill. It is a psychological one. It requires the development of a particular internal relationship with discomfort, with uncertainty, with the not knowing that silence creates, and most people cannot inhabit without reaching for relief. The practical architecture of this looks like a single, repeatable, internal movement. When the impulse to speak arrives, pause long enough to ask what is driving it. Is it something that needs to be said, or something that needs to be relieved? If the answer is relief, the silence has found its purpose. Let it stand. This pause does not need to be long, does not need to be visible. 'Tis an internal beat, a moment of conscious observation between the impulse and the response that most people have never inserted into their own behavioral sequence. Over time, this pause becomes the difference between a person who speaks with precision and a person who speaks with compulsion, between someone who holds a room and someone who performs for it, between someone who is legible and someone who is not. Machiavelli's fox does not fill silence, listens to what the silence draws out of others, and it waits, with the patience of something that understands that the room will always eventually speak. The question is whether you speak with it, or whether you let it speak for you. You have felt this dynamic without having the language for it. The conversation where you said more than you meant to, and felt the shift in the room afterward. The negotiation where you explained yourself once too often and watched something change in the other person's posture. The relationship where you were always the one to break the silence, and never quite understood why that asymmetry existed, or what it was costing you. It was costing you legibility. Every time the silence broke in your direction, the room learned something about your internal state that you had not consciously chosen to share. This is what Machiavelli pointed at across 5 centuries. That power is not taken. It is transferred, voluntarily, in small increments, through the 1,000 ordinary moments where one person's discomfort becomes another person's information. Silence is not absence. Trust, it is the most precise statement available in any interaction, the signal that you are present, unbothered, and entirely uninterested in performing ease for the comfort of a room that hasn't earned your transparency. Hold it long enough, and the room will tell you everything. You only need to stop speaking before it does.